It's that time again. Binary milestone number 4 with 512 subscribers. I can hardly believe it. Firstly, I want to thank everyone who has subscribed. It's great to be able to share the enjoyment of these games with you. I also really appreciate all your feedback. It's very gratifying to know that you're enjoying it along with me. That might not quite come across when I just reply to your comments with "thanks, glad you enjoyed it," but I really do appreciate it. My continued thanks also goes to Steve Benway. His shout out in the early days was definitely a big factor in getting this far. The games I've most enjoyed have been the longer ones, particularly Eye of the Beholder and Star Control 2. I'm certain that those games would not have been as enjoyable if I was playing them without an audience. But knowing that you guys and girls, yes, my audience is 5% female, knowing that you're enjoying it and that you want to see more, that just spurs me on to continue in these games further than I probably would have on my own. So since I currently have no long series in progress, having recently finished Star Control 2, I thought I'd ask for your help in selecting the next game to play through to the end, if I can manage it. I've come up with a list of 6 games that I'd like to do a long play of. If you're more interested in the shorter videos where I give my first impressions of a game, don't worry, those will be coming too. I still have a lot of requests for those type of videos left over, so that's another reason I'm doing something a bit different for this milestone. I'm still planning to get to those requests, and feel free to make another one by sending me a PM or a channel comment at any time. So I'm going to briefly describe each of the games I'm considering, and if you see one you like, make a comment below letting me know which of the listed games you'd like to see. If none of the games I'm listing appeal to you, then don't worry, as I said, there will be other content coming too. If you like, put your second favourite too, and I'll look to those in the event of a tie. Just be sure to make it clear which is your second favourite in that case. So, here are the games I'm considering. First, fittingly, is a game I already promised. Those of you who saw my Eye of the Beholder series to the end will know that I said Baldur's Gate was coming soon. This is a game I've played before, but not for, well, ages. It's a game that redefined what a computer RPG should be. Made by BioWare, it's an epic fantasy tale of the best kind. Like Eye of the Beholder, it's based on the Dungeons & Dragons rule set, but unlike Eye of the Beholder, it's not a dungeon crawler. It's a large, open-ended exploration and quest-solving adventure, with an epic plot, set on the Sword Coast near the city named Baldur's Gate. You begin your adventure when your guardian, Gorion, takes you out of your home of Candlekeep after mercenaries try to kill you. Things only go downhill from there.
Let's hurry, child. The night can only get worse, so we must find shelter soon. Don't worry. I will explain everything as soon as there is time. Wait, there is something wrong. We are in an ambush.
You're perceptive for an old man. You know why I'm here. Hand over your ward and no one will be hurt. If you resist, it shall be a waste of your life.
You're a fool if you believe I would trust your benevolence. Step aside and you and your lackeys will be unhurt.
I'm sorry that you feel that way, old man.
Get out of here!
The next game I'm considering is also an RPG, but with much different setting, Fallout 1. I haven't played this before, but I have played Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, so I'm somewhat familiar with the world of Fallout. However, this is a very different style of game. It's closer to the Baldur's Gate type of RPG. It's set in a post-apocalyptic wasteland, and you are one of the lucky few who are living in a self-sustaining nuclear fallout shelter known as a vault. But you have to leave when the vault's systems begin to fail to find replacement parts. I don't know much about the game after that point, but I imagine it will be a fascinating journey of action, adventure and discovery involving the Brotherhood of Steel, super mutants and all the wonders of the wasteland.
War. War never changes. The Romans waged war to gather slaves and wealth. Spain built an empire from its lust for gold and territory. Hitler shaped a battered Germany into an economic superpower. But war never changes. In the 21st century, war was still waged over the resources that could be acquired. Only this time, the spoils of war were also its weapons. Petroleum and uranium. For these resources, China would invade Alaska, the US would annex Canada, and the European Commonwealth would dissolve into quarreling, bickering nation-states bent on controlling the last remaining resources on Earth. In 2077, the storm of World War had come again. In 2 brief hours, most of the planet was reduced to cinders. And from the ashes of nuclear devastation, a new civilization would struggle to arise. A few were able to reach the relative safety of the large underground vaults. Your family was part of that group that entered Vault 13. Imprisoned safely behind the large vault door, under a mountain of stone, a generation has lived without knowledge of the outside world. Life in the vault is about to change.
Next is Space Quest 1, a classic point-and-click adventure game. This is one that I somehow managed to miss, although I was always put off a bit by the constant threat of instant and unfair death in Sierra adventure games. However, this game has come highly recommended, especially since I like sci-fi so much. I'll be playing the VGA version, which is good since I'm likely to stumble too much for my liking with a text parser. I don't know much about the plot since I wanted to keep it fresh for when I play it, but I'm sure it'll be a very funny and enjoyable game. Thief: The Dark Project is an old stealth game about a young man taken in by a group called the Keepers because of his exceptional natural talent at being a sneaky bastard. With the benefit of their training in stealth and combat, he becomes an expert thief. I've never played it, but I like the look of it. It has impressive AI, and the events in the game are largely unscripted, leading to interesting emergent gameplay. There are a number of special items like water arrows that douse torches. This should make for an interesting series.
The Keepers were training me to be one of them, but I found other uses for those skills.
Deus Ex is another classic I missed. Again, I don't know too much about it, except how highly rated it is and that it's a cyberpunk first-person shooter RPG. And of course it's set in a dystopian future. I guess that's just a setting that's very conducive to games. From the reviews, I'm told it's also got a great immersive plot.
Had to endure much, you and I, but soon there will be order again. A new age. Aquinas spoke of the mythical city on the hill. Soon that city will be a reality, and we will be crowned its kings. Not better than kings. Gods.
The final game I'm considering is Amnesia: The Dark Descent. This is a survival horror game where the main character has no weapons and has to hide from the evil monsters that chase him. It's a game of fear and panic rather than aggression and violence. Apparently, it also makes great use of the most useful technique in horror, not letting you see much of the monster, at least until it's disemboweling you. Vote for this game if you think you'd enjoy my reactions to being chased down dark hallways and going insane.
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
So, let me know which of these you'd like to see the most. I'll leave it a while before counting up the votes. Expect to see some videos for the winning game in the near future. I really mean it this time. Honestly, I promise. My fingers aren't crossed or anything.